Hi, I'm Becky Lyons. Welcome to Jesus Speaks, the Book of Mormon and in Dreams. Today we are reading from Alma chapter 51, and this is the second part. I'll just read this synopsis to you. The kingmen seek to change the law and set up a king. Pahoran and the freemen are supported by the voice of the people. Captain Moroni compels the kingdom to defend their liberty or to be put to death. Amalickiah and the Lamanites capture many fortified cities. Teancum repels the Lamanite invasion. He slays Amalickiah in his tent. So he kills Amalickiah. But then again, he's obviously super wicked too. So let's start off in chapter 17. Captain Moroni commanded that his army should go against the kingmen to pull down their pride and pull down their nobility and level them with the earth, or that they should take up arms and support the cause of liberty. The armies did march forth against them, and they did pull down their pride and their nobility, insomuch that they did lift their weapons of war to fight against the men of Moroni, and they were hewn down and leveled to the earth. There were 4,000 of those dissenters who were hewn down by the sword, and those of their leaders who were not slain in battle were taken and cast into prison, for there was no time for their trials at this period. And the remainder of those dissenters, rather than be smitten down to the earth by the sword, yielded to the standard of liberty, and they are compelled to hoist the title of liberty upon their towers and in their cities, and take up their arms in defense of their country. And thus Moroni put an end to the kingmen, that there were not any known by the appellation of the kingmen, and thus he put an end to the stubbornness and the pride of those people who profess the blood of nobility. But they are brought down to humble themselves like unto their brethren, to fight valiantly for their freedom from bondage. So are we fighting valiantly for our freedom from bondage in our lives? Behold, it came to pass that while Moroni was thus breaking down the wars and contentions among his own people, and subjecting them to peace and civilization, and making regulations to prepare for war against Lamanites, behold, the Lamanites had come into the land of Moroni, which was in the borders of the seashore. And it came to pass that the Nephites were not sufficiently strong in the city of Moroni. Therefore Amalickiah did drive them, slaying many. And it came to pass that Amalickiah took possession of the city, yea, possession of all their fortifications. And those who fled out of the city of Moroni came to the city of Nephihah. And also the people of the city of Lehi gathered themselves together and made preparations, and were made ready to receive the Lamanites to battle. Then Amalickiah would not allow the Lamanites to go against the city of Nephihah to battle, but kept them down by the seashore, leaving men in every city to maintain and to defend it. Thus he went on, taking possession of many cities, the city of Nephihah, the city of Lehi, the city of Morianton, and the city of Omner, the city of Gid, the city of Mulek, and all of that which were on the east borders by the seashore. Thus had the Lamanites obtained by the cunning of the Amalickiah so many cities, by their numberless hosts, all of which were strongly fortified after the manner of the fortifications of Moroni, all of which afforded strongholds for the Lamanites. They marched to the borders of the land of Bountiful, driving the Nephites before them and slaying many. They were met by Teancum, who had slain Morianton and headed his people in his flight. He headed Amalickiah also, and as he was marching forth with his numerous army, that he might take possession of the land Bountiful and also the land northward. But behold, he met a disappointment by being repulsed by Teancum and his men, for they were great mighty warriors. For every man of Teancum did exceed the Lamanites in their strength and their skill of war, insomuch they did gain advantage over all the Lamanites. They did harass them insomuch they did slay them even till it was dark. And it came to pass, Teancum and his men did pitch their tents in the border of the land of Bountiful. Amalickiah did pitch his tents in the border on the beach by the seashore, and after this manner were they driven. When that night had come, Teancum and his servants stole forth and went by night, and they went into the camp of Amalickiah. And behold, sleep had overpowered them because of their much fatigue, which was caused by the labors and the heat of the day. And it came to pass, Teancum stole privily into the tent of King Amalickiah, and he put a javelin into his heart, and did cause the death of King Amalickiah immediately, that he did not awake his servant. So what goes around comes around. How did Amalickiah get to be king? He stabbed the previous king in the heart So he was killed the same way by Teancum. He got stabbed in the heart. 35. And he returned again privily to his own camp, and behold, his men were asleep, and he woke them, and he told them all the things that he had done. He caused that his army should stand in readiness, lest the Lamanites had awakened and should come upon them again. Thus ended the 25th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi, and thus ended the days of Amalickiah. So that's the end of Amalickiah, and now we're going into the next Antichrist, the next evil one, named Teancum. So we'll talk more about Teancum in the next chapter. So once again, I'm going to go over that on 21. Or have we brought ourselves down to humble ourselves before God? And do we fight valiantly for the cause of Christ? Do we fight valiantly for our freedom from bondage, from sin? So anyway, I'd love to hear your responses to those questions, and I will see you in the video tomorrow.